Oh, snap. Hey, everybody. If you join us, man, that's like
Happy Wednesday.
here. If you haven't noticed, we are not on our back porch this evening. We are on our, in our other porch.
Church.
In the church. We're in the church tonight. This isn't a porch. This is the fellowship hall / children's check-in area / cafe of Lake Point Community Church,
And it's
Madison,
after 9
Kansas.
o'clock.
And it's way after 9, and I originally said we'd be on at 8, so we'll see. One person's watching. Let's see what else comes on here.
It's okay
If
you
you're all in
don't
bed now, that makes sense. That's probably wise.
Hey, Mary.
A wise thing to do. Mary, good to see you,
Yeah,
Girl
it is
Scout.
probably bedtime. It is.
Had a full day, had a wonderful day, but or just now, this is the first time we've sat down together.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hope you've had a great day, Facebook family and church family on the Facebook. What did you do today, Shantae?
I went to work,
Oh.
post-planning days.
That's fun.
Today was a deep clean the classroom day.
Hmm.
I've got all my grades posted, so I just cleaned every surface. My classroom is cleaner than it's ever been right now. And then I
That's
went and
exciting.
got a haircut and curl.
It looks fantastic.
And then I think I'm the original reason we were late because that went a little long. And then
That was
Denny's
the
like,
original.
I'm just going to go to this community
community
service real quick.
Real quick,
It'll be just a sweet little event.
it was fantastic.
And it was.
It was
but
a
we
great
hated
event.
to leave. And then
I know. I got
went
there and I was
longer.
like, man, I'm sitting up front. You know, I should know. I'm a pastor. I should know to sit in the back, but
And
I
so
like sitting up front. So we
here
did.
we are. We'll keep it
We're
short
here
and
at
sweet
9.
because it's late.
So it's late. We just want to say hey to everybody whenever you're watching this. I had the chance to go to our kids are actually staying at my dad's house tonight. Shout out to Dan Senior
Yay.
for doing that pop.
Go, Granddaddy.
Go Granddaddy. Also had the chance to go to a staff meeting at Harmony Campus. The Harmony Campus Sanctuary, y'all, it's looking pretty legit. It's coming together. It's
wanna
getting
go see
close. Diane Beasley,
Hey,
good to see you, Miss
Miss
Diane.
Diane.
We
I
had-
didn't see you there.
I saw you for a little bit, Miss Diane. I didn't get a chance to get back there and say hey, but
it was a great event.
it was a really, really good event.
Jenny.
Good to see you this evening. But yeah, I did that one, and then had a chance, y'all, to head out to Rutledge and visit with Ron and Molly Fowley,
Ron and Molly.
Ron and Molly
Fowley.
Fowley for a little while. Had a great visit. I am going to continue to ask our church family and those hearing this to continue to pray for Ron Fowley and for his family, for his Molly, his wife, for his daughter Heather. His son Drew's in town tonight. He's going to be here for a little while. Just continue to pray for them. And thank you to everybody who has brought meals and refreshments and just kind words. It's been very, very caring. Miss Linda, good to see you this
Hey,
evening.
Miss Linda.
And from there, I actually got to go visit with Pastor Rob at the Morgan Memorial Center.
Did you get to go inside or you visited through the window?
I went right through the front door. I had to hold my head still to get my temperature scanned, and then they allowed, and then I was let in, had a
if you're
bracelet and
clergy,
everything.
they let you in, guys.
Yeah, if there's not a clergy card either, spoiler,
So-
there's no card, there's no database. Nobody
yeah,
knows.
but they know you.
They do know. That's right.
So
Heather,
this is a new
this evening,
development. If you go to
This is
the
really neat.
hospital in Madison now, a clergy member can
a
come.
pastor
to
can
your
come to
room.
visit. And I was at Grady last week, and pastor letting pastors back in there as well. So,
Yay.
I mean, we're looking forward to that. That's one of my
Yeah,
my
we
favorite
love
things that we get to do is minister to people in the hospitals when they're there. But did get to visit with Pastor Rob, and this is just cool tonight to share tonight. Rob was in his room with Joanne, making a lot of improvement. Pretty tired, you know. They've been working really hard, but it came time for dinner, and that was going to be my exit strategy to go to the other service in town that New Generation Bible Church put on. It was fantastic. Ron, Miss Diane, he's such a sweet man.
He is sweet.
And Heather, Miss Diane's on here as well. So, but I got to visit with Pastor Rob as well, and he went to the cafeteria to eat, and there was just Rob and Joanne at one table, and one sweet little lady at the other table, who I actually grew up calling Grand Sandy. It's Renee Hester's mom. Renee Hester is the music minister at Madison Baptist Church. She was my music and youth minister throughout my childhood and adult into teenage
I
years.
don't even know Grancy.
Really cool. So really neat. I was like, Rob,
sweet.
what a small world. I think the Lord
Did you
just
meet
lets.
Al?
I did. Al went home today.
Did he really?
Al went home today. He spent
I met
105
Al.
days in the hospital.
105 days.
And they gave him a
Guys, he was
Superman
on a
cape.
ventilator for 17 weeks. At least that's what it sounded like you said through the window.
Yeah.
Natalie and I got to meet. We were there to
Really
see
neat.
Rob,
Yeah.
and his friend Al was just hanging out and
Yeah.
told us his whole story through the window.
Very
on
cool.
speakerphone. So,
Very, very cool.
good times. Good for you, Al.
Good for you, Al. Al made it home, and so Rob's over there recovering well. We're going to continue to pray for Rob and for Mr. Ron, and Miss Heather's on here, y'all. If you see Miss Heather, she's good at caring for parents and like deep cleaning carpets in classrooms. She's just doing it all, you know. So if you need her to teach your kids
She's a
or to clean your
well-rounded-
carpets,
well-rounded
give her a
young
call.
lady.
I highly recommend. That'd be great. Had a great time talking to Heather and Molly though about like their experienced teachers. Like Molly taught for 40 years and then subbed for another 9. So that's fun. Miss Diane, you probably got fun. Those are just good stories. You know, if you've been around little kids for that long, you're gonna have
Lots
a good
of stories.
reserve of
Lots
just
stories.
good
40
stuff.
years.
40 years
That
and
is
taught
amazing.
and subbed for 9. So it's a good day on our part as well. We did, y'all. A lot of churches in town actually did a community event this evening. It was outdoors. It was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. I'll probably be going back. I think they're going to be doing it throughout the summer, but we'll find out. But just really enjoyed that. And
Miss Sheila said she didn't know about that.
what
asked her.
I don't want to put words in anybody else's mouth.
We'll
I can't
find
speak
out.
for it.
We'll
I didn't
let you
host
know.
it. It's one of the first worship services I've been to in a long time where I didn't
We'll
do
let
anything
you
but
know
just
what we-
attend, and it was awesome. So just a great worship service. We'll share that with you as it comes. But we know it's late. We did want to get on here and give us an update on our day, and also just share a few verses with you tonight. So if you got a Bible, I want you to open up. We're going to be in Psalm 139 this evening. Psalm 139. Just pray that some of these verses will speak to you, and the Lord will use them to remind you of His presence. Because as we've just seen today, He is in all places at the same time. He's that big. So let me read a couple verses, if that's cool, and then we'll jump down and read a couple more, and then we'll have a little conversation. Does that work for you, girl?
Works for me.
Psalm 139, beginning in verse 1. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You understand my thought from afar. You scrutinize my path and my lying down. You are intimately acquainted with all my ways. Even before there is a word on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it all. You have enclosed me behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high, I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to the heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the dawn, if I dwell in the remotest part of the sea, even there your hand will lead me. Even as in your right hand will lay hold of me. If I say, surely the darkness will overwhelm me, and the light around me will be night, even the darkness is not dark to you, and the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you, for you formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. This is a beautiful passage, y'all. If you want to, you can read the rest of the chapter, Psalm chapter. Hey, Mr. Tim, chapter 139. A couple things that stick out to me. We're just gonna hit this kind of quick because I don't know what time it is, and we're actually gonna be hitting up Waffle House in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm kind of hungry. Is that first part I love, and I'll share, then Sean will share. We'll just kind of ping pong it. I like that. It says, you are intimately acquainted with all of my ways. You understand my thought from afar. I've loved today. I've had a really good day today. Very, very full, very busy. It's really been just a crazy, actually, 2 weeks, it seems like. Just, I told somebody on Sunday, in 2 days I had the chance to do a funeral, communion, a wedding, and graduation, and something else, and baptism.
I was like, we did
almost all the sacraments. If we dedicated a baby, we'd have been there.
We just needed a new baby. That's all we
and we did that in 24 hours. But
true story.
There are times in my life where I have a hard time understanding my own thoughts, especially when things get busy and I'm going in different directions, although I absolutely love that. This passage really speaks to me in just that one verse where it says, you understand my thought from afar. To know that God knows what's on my mind before I take the time to tell him about it. And he still takes the time to listen to me tell him about it. There's a lot of power in that. So I know I visited with a few of y'all today. Our thoughts are in a lot of different places tonight. We have families in a lot of different areas going through a lot of different things. Take hope in this truth. God already knows your thoughts. He's not embarrassed. He's not angry, I don't believe, in this moment. I can't speak for him right here, but I do believe he's awaiting all of us to say, hey, Lord, in my mind, it's almost like sometimes I could say, Lord, can I talk through let me catch up to my thoughts with you, because he already knows about them. He's always been a good sounding board to me. So I just want to share that with you tonight. Share what's on your mind with him because he already knows. I think he just waits patiently for us to share it with them. That's
I read
one
this
that stuck out.
chapter this morning, and verse 5 just stuck out to me. It says, "You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me."
Mhm.
Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. So just wherever you are in your day, or as you wake up tomorrow and face a new day, just know that He's gone before you and He'll be behind you. It's like He's
Mhm.
enclosing you in His presence. And that's just an encouraging thought no matter what you've got going
That's
on.
right.
And it's just such a neat thing to know that God knows everything that we're about to walk into before we walk into it.
That's right.
And He's with us in it, and He goes behind us. And so
Mhm.
it's just such an encouraging chapter. The
Yeah.
Whole chapter
Yeah.
is really good.
One of the things I've had a chance to experience, and Shawnee was there for that. A lot of you on here have experienced like deacon ordination or pastoral ordination, elders, is part of my ordination. So if you're a pastor, like one of the coolest things, probably the coolest thing to start that off for me, is we had a service at my home church, and they did a laying of hands service where everybody in the congregation was allowed to come up and lay hands, and it's coming out of that like Old Testament actually tradition where people would actually physically lay a hand on someone else to speak a blessing or to speak a word or speak a truth over them. And I always remember some of the words that people spoke over me. From Shante was there, and she was, I think we were engaged then. My granddad, my dad, my pastors, Renee. I mean, just sweetness. But yeah, to know that, man, God chooses to do that for us as well. Like He lays His hand on us. One of the other parts, and then this is probably my last one. I won't go stay on here too long. Is Psalm 139. Verse 7, where it says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to heaven, you're there. My bed in Sheol, you're there. Remotest part of the sea." He's pretty much trying to describe, he's like, Lord, I can't escape you. You know, I can't get away from where you are. There are some times in our lives, I think, and sometimes culturally, where you will hear phrases like, you know, I don't have anything to say about that. Like where you might look around and go, Lord, or I think like culturally sometimes we're conditioned to think, man, God's wrathful or He's vengeful, and we're just trying to get away from Him, like smiting us. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're sinning, you got to own that. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to own that between the Lord. After the Lord after He saved me, after I began a relationship with Him, though, that shifted in that. Me escaping Him wasn't me trying to escape His judgment. It was more like me just like, Lord, I think I can figure this out by myself. But what I always find is I can't. He'll give me time to figure out by myself. But everywhere I go, He's already there. I think, once again, waiting for me to bring everything I have into His presence. And we've talked about this Sunday. I've experienced this just today. Whether you are in a hospital room, whether you are in hospice care, whether you are at a parking lot church service, the Lord is present, and He's real, and He wants to know you, and He wants to be with you. So I pray that for you tonight, that you would trust that and believe it, because there have been times where I look around at the shadows in the valleys and think, Lord, surely You aren't in this place. But the Scripture says He is. You know, He's walking with us in there. I think a lot of times for me, I forget that He's there because I'm not talking to Him about His presence. So maybe that's you tonight. Maybe somebody needs to say, Lord, or whenever you're watching this, Lord, hey, remind me of You being close to me right now.
My closing thought for tonight is the second part of verse 14. It says, "Wonderful are Your works. My soul knows it very well." And that's sort of related. Even if I am not thinking thoughts that let me know that I know it, my soul knows it. My soul knows that God is with me. And even if I'm logically not telling myself that in my brain, that's a difference. And so sometimes I need to remind myself what my soul knows is that God's with me.
And that's absolutely right. If you got a prayer request, share them here if we can pray about anything specific. Joanne Rayner told me just a little while ago in the hospital room that Rob, one of his nurses, came in when Joanne just got there this morning, and she asked Rob, said, "Do you remember me?" He said, "I think so. Did you pray for me sometime this morning?" And she said, "I did. I prayed for you in the middle of my shift. The Lord gave me a word to speak over you." And she said, the nurse, I don't know if she laid her hands on Rob or what, but she said that phrase. She said, "The Lord wants you to know all is well. All is well." So Rob told that to Joanne, and the only thing Joanne had in her house that resembled that was a pretty sign that somebody gave him that says, "It is well." So in Rob's hospital room, there's a sign that says, "It is well."
Sweet.
With my soul. That's a great question to ask yourself, I think. Is it well with your soul? You know, like whatever's going on, is it well with your soul? Because yeah, there are times when my soul knows, my brain's going a different direction. My soul knows, you know, my heart, my stomach right now is going a different direction. Like I'm craving some hash brown scattered tomato covered, but my soul is well because of who God is and what He's done for me.
And even when we don't know it, He's with us. He's already gone before us, and He'll be behind us.
That's right. He is with you. He is with you.
Yeah.
So tonight, as we leave this place from this cafe / children's check-in / foyer area,
Looks like it was a Bible study room
women's
at one
Bible study
point.
was rocking it earlier. Know that we're praying for you tonight. We're trusting the Lord with you, and we are thankful to be a part of what's going on. You know, trusting the Lord with you. Miss Diane, we're continuing to pray for unity in our community, especially in our youth. That's absolutely right. Miss Diane, you are doing, in my opinion, excellent, in everybody else's opinion, I'll speak for everybody, an excellent job of leading in that area, in that field. As you pour into my own children, I can speak for that. You're pouring into all three of my kids, and my wife, and our community. Amen. We'll continue to pray for unity. Kim, good to see you again this evening. Glad you were with us. And Kimberly Stone James. That's very formal, you know, Kim. Like, I was calling you Kim, but I'm going to start calling you Kimberly Stone James. Like, Kimberly Stone James. I agree with that one.
I like Facebook because you can track people's maiden names back, and then you can come.
This is embarrassing. Let's share an embarrassing story. Katie Bray, if you're watching, I apologize to you. I apologize in advance. Carson, I respect you and your wife.
Warning.
So on the prayer list, very serious, we have been and will continue to pray for Katie's dad, Bob.
Yes.
Man, Katie's dad, Bob.
Yes,
Katie, we are
definitely.
praying for you and for your dad, and just for your family. What a gift. I'm not going to lie. I tried to correct our church secretary today in that your dad's last name was Walker. And Lily, who's very kind, said, nope, it's not Walker. I said, it is. Because on Facebook, Katie Ray's middle name is Katie Walker Ray. When I looked up, you know what Katie's middle name is on Facebook? Walk. W-A-L-K. I was like, my bad.
Misreading it?
Just misread the whole time. Messed that one up. And I owned
You're just running into the Ray.
I was just running into Walker Ray.
Walker.
You know, Katie Ray, Josie Ray. Y'all were thankful for you.
So the bulletin is mistyped.
It's on me. That's all me. I know that's 100% true. Guys, if you're looking for a place to worship Sunday, we invite you to join us. We'll be here at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. If you want to join us online, if not here, find a place somewhere. You know, find a community of believers to get around you.
There's lots of good ones.
Lots of good ones. We're fans of the local church. We're kind of giving our lives to living this thing out. So, trusting Him with you. If you need a prayer request or need something to lift up, let us know. And if you get bored in the next little bit, we will be at one of the 2 Waffle Houses in Madison, Georgia.
We will.
Thankful for you. See y'all Sunday or sometime on.
Yeah,
I just
it's right there. It's the bottom one.
Holla back.
Bye, guys.